Olá, como vai você? Eu tenho certeza que você passará um ótimo momento no Brasil, mas será uma experiência muito diferente. Para que você entenda um pouco mais sobre a cultura do Brasil, criamos este vídeo que enfatiza certas características únicas deste maravilhoso país. So, this is the Brazilian real. Has a nice turtle on behind. And it's the currency is actually about 45 cents of a Canadian dollar compared to one real. And a bottle of water, let's say, it would be around 40 Canadian cents in Brazil compared to around $1 in a supermarket here in Canada. So you have a pretty good advantage in the price.
The official language in Brazil is Portuguese, as you know. It is important that you make some effort to learn the language, as only a few people speak English. As for food, we as Brazilians eat rice and beans every day. Meat also plays an important role in Brazilian food, and we eat it at least 3 times a week. A lot of vegetables and fruits are also in meals. Typical dishes: feijoada, which is beans in a soup with rest of pork meat; bacalhau, which is Portuguese salty barracuda; and churrasco, which is actually barbecue. Another really important aspect of when you come to Brazil in your first few days is to bring a local to help you. So it's really important that you take the time to use your network and find a Brazilian intermediary or a foreigner who spent a lot of time living in Brazil. This is so they can guide you through daily life and help you understand the way business is done. He should also indicate the characteristics of the industry you want to get into as well. For housing, you have to be careful in some neighborhoods, as they can have problems with security. The intermediary plays a good role in this topic too, as he should point you to the safer areas to live in and where it could be dangerous. Unfortunately, the crime rate in Brazil is quite high, so especially foreigners should be careful, but it doesn't disturb a normal pace of life if you pay attention. As for schooling, there are state, privately run, and international schools in some areas. Private schools are probably the best because they have a really great level of learning. You can also find private international schools if that suits you better. The level in some Brazilian private schools is quite high though, and international students don't guarantee a good learning.
In Brazil, there is a lot of stunning nature, from tropical forests to paradisaic beaches, from damp regions to semi-desertic tundra. What is more, Brazil is really known for its alcohol: caipirinha, cachaça, which is distillate alcohol from the sugarcane, and also the beer, which is the most consumed alcohol in Brazil. Well, the other characteristic thing is, of course, also football. It is quite important, as you probably can believe, in Brazil. It's a cultural event, and people often gather to watch an important game of the national team or their regional team. It's also a topic that shows up in a lot of conversations.
Dress code is really important in business setting. The clothes should be formal, men wear three-piece suit, and women would be dressed elegantly as well. The way people dress shows how they feel about themselves and if they are respectful towards others. Quite interesting thing about Brazil is that women get their nails done every week regardless of their status. It doesn't really matter if they are poor or rich. In business setting, it can show the way you handle yourself and how serious you are about your appearance, and by that how professional you are.
Now we're going to show you the mock-up video of business meeting taking place in Brazil with live actors, one lady being foreigner reacting in a strange way to things that she finds different about others, her future business partners in Brazil. As you can see on the video, meetings may start late. It is not due to rudeness or lack of appropriate upbringing, so foreigners should not show their annoyances, as it is important to continue the relationship with people not to be on time. The whole process is prolonged by demanded initial chit-chat and frequent interruptions that are to be expected or even demanded. Agenda is flexible and participation is generally spontaneous. When you first meet someone, men shake hands and man and a woman or two women will kiss first on one cheek and then switch to the other cheek. It might be kind of surprising to foreigners, as usually in most countries it is just handshake that is appropriate, with kiss on the cheek being reserved for close friends. Note that it is kind of more of a cheek-to-cheek touch and kissing than it is a kiss, as lips never touch the cheeks. The kiss on the cheek is a common way Brazilians used to greet each other. It is not uncommon to see it happening in a business meeting. When talking, Brazilians can become quite animated and passionate. Interruptions are normal, and rather than having negative and disrespectful connotation, it reflects interest in what is being discussed and the wish to participate and add points to your thoughts. In Brazil, it is required to have bilingual business cards to distribute at the beginning of meetings, and what is more, they should be presented by the Portuguese side facing the recipient. They also should be given to the person that has the highest rank, who in turn should present her or his card. Make sure cards are presented the right way, otherwise the thing that we can just see in the video may happen. Negotiations are usually prolonged with a great deal of haggling and exaggeration, but with concern for the effect it will have on the parties involved. They usually involve intense eye contact, but there is also little direct disagreement. Things are handled in a delicate, more indirect manner. The foreigner person in the video is clearly trying to go straight to business, discuss the agenda and make some decisions, especially about the money that is involved in the process. While two Brazilians are asking to find out more about the person, to deepen the personal bond, find out more about the business partner before the deal is done. Again, the whole process involves a lot of touching and hand gesticulation that the foreigner found strange and frankly quite intimidating. At some point, the Brazilian business partner takes out his wallet to show the pictures of family and children, which is to create a deeper bond between the parties, showing trust and connection that can be established. For expatriates, it would be a good idea to have a Brazilian intermediary, local person to show them the way things are handled in the industry they want to work in. What is more, success in Brazil business culture relies heavily upon the development of strong personal relationships. Maintaining them is the keystone of productive business partnerships. Most Brazilians do business with people, not with companies or organizations. Brazilians in the video show clearly that they do not wish to go straight to the business. What is more, the foreigner lady behavior makes them suspicious and they try to leave the meeting earlier. Understanding the local customs is really important in a business setting, as it may decide of the success of the business deal itself.
Right now in Brazil there is corruption in business as well, but is fighted by officials. As a matter of fact, the federal police in Brazil is now investigating some deals between private companies and the biggest Brazilian oil company, Petrobras, which is mostly public, with some people being charged. For expatriates, it would be a good idea to have a Brazilian intermediary, local person to show them the way things are handled. Usually Brazilians stand very close to themselves while speaking. They do not find little touches strange. What is more, moving away may be interpreted as rejection. They have a way of talking that is very personal. It is not uncommon to touch the arm or the elbow of the person they are talking to. It is said that it reflects their warm and vivacious characters. That practice has nothing to do with flirtation. Especially in business meeting, it is just a way to better express oneself.
When having conversation with Brazilian, there's something that we need to consider, as there are some good as well as bad topic to talk about. So what is a good topic? You can start a conversation by talking about the weather, by asking them about their health, their family. Topics such as hobby and sport, especially shockers, are good topics to discuss. Aside from that, you can talk about traveling, you can talk about country events that are going to taking place in the city, about the music and the improvement of the economic indicator of the country. On the contrary, there are some bad topics that should be avoided. The issue of security, poverty, crime, social inequality and corruption. Since many Brazilians suffer from this issue and they feel powerless toward any attempt to change it. The deforestation in the Amazon and politics in general should be avoided as a topic of discussion as well, as Brazilians tend to take criticism personally.
Obrigado pela